Hey, um, so how's it going? I'm showing up. Woo! No, I'm kidding. I guess I actually am. So this is it. What's happening today is our featured speaker today is named Tyler, and well, go ahead, Tyler. You have the floor. Okay. So, hey, my name is Tyler, and I used to be called Will a long time ago, and then I changed my name to Amanda. And I'm now part of me. That's right. I'm part of me. But I'm today's featured speaker. So, um, that's what they tell me. So, you can call me, if it makes you feel better to call me Will, that's fine. For me, the name Will represents to me something that was a long time ago that was not quite right. And so for me, using the name Tyler is it's a family name that I love, and it is a way to represent a new start and something and someone new. I'm not an entirely new person from outer space, but I'm now a healthy, happy version of all of me. And so for all these reasons aforementioned, for these aforementioned reasons, I've decided to go by the name Tyler. But if you want to call me Will, I'll respond to it. That's fine. So well, let's see. We're gonna take a little walk together and just talk about life and a couple things. And I just want to start out by saying how thankful I am, how thankful all of me is, but how thankful I am, because I'm the featured speaker today, how thankful I am to be here, alive. It's a mind-blowing miracle that cannot be fully understood, and it's only thanks to the love and miraculous support of angels and good people everywhere over many long eons of time. And it's only because of them that I'm alive. And, when I say I'm alive, because I do believe that I'm someone that lives forever. I'm alive here, in this body, through this body, with everyone here on the planet to whom I'm so grateful that I owe my life. And I love each and every one of you dearly, more than myself. And so we're gonna just spend a little time and just chat and catch up, because it's been way, way, way too long. But anyhow, what's that say? That's a speech. That's a speech that Mia wrote. Mia started writing a speech the other day, and I'm gonna read it to you in a while. But it's not finished, and I'll talk about that later. But where do we begin? Let's take a walk. What do you think? Let's take a walk together. What do you think, Max? Hey you. Come on, Max. Here I am now. Can you still see me? Oh, good. I can't see anything because the sun's too bright. Hang on, give me a second. It's not perfect, but I do my best. So, we can get back here where it's shady and take a walk together. We talk about life, and things like that. Hang on, I still can't see anything. This is my new home in beautiful North Florida. And North Florida is a beautiful place, but I'm not going to tell you about it too much because I don't want anyone else to move to Florida. All kidding aside, there seems to be things happening. I guess you can see me because I can't really see you, but let's see this way. Let's go this way. That's my I bought a half acre of land here and cut down all the trees myself with a chainsaw. And then I leveled out a driveway and had gravel poured on it. We can go down this way first. I'll show you around a little bit and then we can talk about life. How about that? Where are you? Come on, Max. Just, someone alert me if you see a bear or a panther jumping out to eat me. Nobody would want that, I'm sure. So hang on a second. Can you see me? See what I look like? Can you see me over here? Can you see me up here? I want to be sure you can see what I look like. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Oh boy. But hang on a second. We're going to come down here. Oh yeah, this is right in here. Oops. Wait a minute. Stay over here, Max. All along in here is where my future house is going to be. In the future. You know the future. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. So you see, we have many palm bushes, these are called, in Florida. See those palm bushes everywhere? And those are the place that all the snakes live. They live underneath the palm bushes. Under every bush there's like a little cave. And under there you'll get like a python, a rattlesnake, a king snake, a mud snake, an eastern mud snake. You might get a coral snake, which can kill you, which are little tiny rainbow colored things. Well, king snakes are red on black. Okay, Jack. Red next to yellow, you're a dead fellow. Something like that it goes. Don't let my speech blow away. Hang on. Over here we got, starting right here, on the back side of my property is 15,000 acres of uninterrupted woods. And there's several state forests over there. There's a wildlife preserve. And I'm the last street in town. So if there's going to be any wildlife in the town, it's going to have to go through my yard first. So, I'm out here defending people. I stay out here, I look for those things, and I prevent them from coming into town. And, there's panthers, wild turkeys, coyotes, wild hogs, they're deadly. Bears, black bears that are real tall and mean and mad. So if one of those comes out right now, we could have a problem during the video. But I'm going to try to maintain peace and order. Hang on a second. Alright, so where are we? We're going to talk about life. Well, so where do I begin? I have to keep looking for bears and panthers, but I'm okay. What's happened is number one, it's just a miracle. It's a miracle that everyone, that's how it started out feeling, to me anyway, to everyone here. Years ago, and the fact that in my life or any part of me or any version of me over time ever inspired someone or inspired younger people to rise up and find themselves, or to be able to start to think about their future and the future of the world and the country and things. That's amazing. That's super, super cool and amazing. You rock. You're so awesome. Thank you. And besides that, if anyone ever felt, one positive feeling from me or any part of me ever, that's amazing. That would blow my mind, and I would be so happy about that. And I love you for that. The kids in the world today are amazing people. They're amazing. They're the most amazing human beings yet. But when this all started, some people have said, somebody hurt me, or somebody was trying to act against me, or vice versa, or I was against somebody, or I hurt someone else, or something like that. None of those things are the ones that transpired. None of them, no. I spent a life living. Max! Get over here. You stay with me. Come on. I spent a life feeling a certain way and did things to try and stop hurting other people. After my marriage failed and my ex and my child were left without a parent around. And I felt more guilty for that, and I should have. But it wasn't intentional. I made many mistakes in life, but I don't know why. It's just, for me, things didn't always fall into place like they seemed to for everyone else. And I think there were some physical problems, and I feel miracles have happened to help me overcome those. And I do believe gender transitioning, or whatever's happened with my body, the fact of me getting skinnier and things has helped me recover. I don't want to bounce around all over the place. I'm going to try to, let's have a fire round where we make I'll make a whole bunch of quick points without being meandering. I'm just going to walk down this way. Oops. I've said, I don't know if anyone else ever heard me say it, but I have pointed out accurately, when this started, Mandy came out without my presence. Now you could say that was without my permission, if you wanted to. I don't say that, because that's not true. We spent a lifetime separated, trying to find one another, and as it turns out, there wasn't it wasn't a real simple fix. It was a little more complicated than I ever imagined, and there were a couple steps involved in completing all of me, not just one. And that explains a lot to me why things were so confusing in the past. pretty. I haven't walked over here before. So you could say she came out without me present. I was not part of her. I wasn't there. But that was following 6 months in bed after being on crutches from a domestic violence attack, break-in my home that injured me very, very, very severely on my neck and contorted my entire body into a seizure-like state. And having come out of it now, I can tell you that's exactly what it was. And, I started piecing things together over time. I know in the past I talked about, I felt like my chakra, my spiritual chakra that's, like that, your chakra with all those colored dots that go up and down your spine. And at the top of it is what? Your third eye. Ding, right here. Your third eye. My body, as I've come out, I had a seizure-like condition that I had to break out of forcefully. And it was so hard, it took many, 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 many years. Come on, get over here. Excuse me. When I've broken out of it, just in the past weeks even, I stretch my neck and I try to stretch all these imbalances out of my body, and then I find myself like the position where I used to think was standing up straight was like this. Oh hey, how's it going? Like that, and my whole body had contorted in a million ways to make it look like I was straight, but I wasn't. And I wasn't, and so it coincides back then. That was before I had separated from my son's mom. I had years and years before that of dealing with a medical problem. And at some point I started getting depressed in life. And I remember thinking exactly like, I never dream anymore. That started back there around 2010, or I didn't have any dreams ever for like 6 or 7 or more years. And now I dream again. I used to always have vivid dreams in color and be inspired by them. Now I'm dreaming again. It all makes sense. I was so twisted, my third eye, I couldn't, within my own body, I physically couldn't look straight ahead at somebody. And I only started to learn that from feedback from other people, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart for bringing the mess that was me onto the public stage at that time. I didn't understand. I was not self-aware of my injuries. And then I spent 2 or 3 years going to the doctor every week. Max, get back here. Stay over here. Stay next to me. Come on. Get over here. And after two or 3 years going to the doctors every week, they were sort of like, they gave me 13 prescriptions to take every day, like Xanax and all these things. And I went to them later and said, I can't even see straight. I'm groggy all the time and feel sleepy. They said, oh, well, you can quit taking all of them. And so then I spent like 8 years fixing it all by myself, figuring out what was wrong, finding the problem, and then about 4 or 5 years fixing it. And through that time, I went into homelessness. I literally couldn't focus. I couldn't see straight, and it got so bad with my eye. This eye is mostly better. but it was afflicted, and it got so bad it was always over here in the corner. And before it got that bad, I'd be in public or I'd talk to someone and my eye would move irregular movements. And it would freak people out and make me just want to die, basically. I'm sorry for saying that. I don't want to die. It would make me feel just so bad because I didn't understand what was wrong. I never had that problem, so I spent 10 years waking up every day believing I had a fatal illness inside that was going to be found pretty soon, where I would be told like I have so many months to live or whatever. That's how it felt. And hey, come on, let's go back. Come on, follow me. Come on. Come on, Max. Can you still see me? Did you remember what I look like? Oh, hey. Oh, boy. There's so many things to talk about. It might have to be a series, but we'll get it done. So anyway, I was saying, when I came out, I had spent a whole lifetime. I was, feeling transgendered. And I moved to California when I was 22 or 23, planning to come out and transition. And, there were other false starts with it. And then my marriage ended, and, instantly, I went to look at a place to live, not knowing exactly the neighborhood or anything about the building. And when I showed up, the building had a giant rainbow flag on the living room, which was the center of a thriving LGBT community. This is after my marriage ended, and I felt so guilty for my marriage ending for the way I felt, as kids do growing up, about themselves when they feel different. And what had happened with my son and his mom. So when I saw that flag on the building, I instantly took it as a sign. This is a sign. This is meant to be. So, and then I lived in that community for a year. And that was the most magical year of my life, I think. Every single person I ever met in that community when I lived there was the most amazing, angel, blessed, just amazing person to me. And I loved all of them then, and I wasn't able to express it because I was going through such a mess of things myself. And I'm so sorry to every one of those people. I love you, and I'm very sincerely sorry. I never meant to be against you in any way, shape, or form, or make you feel bad in any way, shape, or form. And I'm very grateful for how you took me into the community there. And I'd been there for about a year, and after a year living in a neighborhood, people start asking, especially when you're someone who's living with another guy, and then there's a dramatic breakup of that relationship, and the other one moves out, and then I'm up there alone, and and I hadn't come out yet to anyone, not even my family or anyone. And here I am living in the center of this community after a year. And then he came back and broke in and assaulted me, and I was on crutches, and I just collapsed in bed. And I see now, I understand exactly what happened through my life, and I'm more than willing and hoping that if anyone has things they want to talk about related to me, I don't like to talk about myself all the time. I've spent way too much time thinking about me in life. But I'm more than willing, to the extent my life's on the line and I care for everyone. I have a good heart, and I just want all of me to be able to find the right way forward, where people can live happily together and not negatively affect each other in a healthy way. But, so I'd been there a year, and then I fell with this injury. Well, at that point, the anticipation in that community was intense for me to come out. And they didn't know I was in bed sinking into a massive seizure injury for 6 months. I didn't understand. I laid in bed and I never got up then. I never did get up. It just got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper every day for like 6 months until someone died. Someone died and someone else rose out. And to all of me, then, to her, brings me back to the beginning. To her, that made sense. And to me, looking back, it makes sense. We had spent the prior year living there, preparing to come out and transition. So the fact that, an injury happened and then she came out, it wasn't all of me. It wasn't all of her. It was a mess. And it was a mess. And let's see. So while I can say she did it, Mandy did that without someone else. No one knew there was someone else. All through life, it had always been expected if I transitioned, it would go from A to B. One person would become the other, and life would go on. So that was the case in the beginning for some time. And, it's just, so she did what she believed to be the right thing. And if she hadn't done it, I wouldn't be standing here breathing today. So what do I say about that? She was a real angel. To me, anyway. And for real. But, since then, so many things have happened. I think, it's a miracle and a blessing that I'm here, that each piece of me is here, that I'm all together here, that I'm breathing and alive, and I love you, and I have a good heart, and I'm not here to dictate anything. I just want to live and get busy working and contributing and being a positive addition in the world. So nobody has ever been against one another here. And I understand that's been a perception, or that it's a common perception among some toward trans people or whatever. No, not in the least. We love each other. And, for now, we've decided to do the right thing, which is stay together. Because that's what's needed to answer to the world right now. And it may very well be that way forever. What shall be, they say. You know, when I say, can you see me? Do you see me? Hey! Do you see? I see my big. Oops. Don't I look real strong? Watch me flex my muscle. Hang on a second. Yeah, you can call me He-Man. I don't identify, I identify as no gender. I identify right in the middle as no gender, and that's after me and my other half came together and found each other on each side of the center and became peaceful and happy together. That's me, Tyler. Ta-da! Oh, hey. I already said that. Well, let's see where else I'm going to go next. I'll go up this other way. I'm going to try to wrap this up in maybe 5 minutes. I'm sorry for taking up too much time. I want to get busy and be working and doing things like that, but that's why there's things that need to happen first, like me coming out and introducing myself and all of me, and then doing the best I can for everyone in the world. And I promise you I'm going to do that. Come on, Mac. At this point, let's take a little break, and I'm going to read you the speech that Mia wrote 2 days ago. She was going to read it to you when she thought she was the one that was going to be doing this, but she didn't finish it. And if and when she decides to show up and finish the speech and give it herself, she can do that. If that never happens, and unless I decide to finish it for her at some other point, if the speech is never finished, it's my hope that the children of the world will finish the speech. Because what's needed next is to build tomorrow and be inspired for tomorrow. But anyway, let me get out. It's too bright over here. I can't see anything. Hang on a second. Hey Google, pause. And then Max, come over here now. Get over here. Come on, let's go back this way. Come on. Come on, Max. Come on. This is, what's the difference between me and, other versions of me? Well, this is me. Can you see me? See what I look like? I mean, is it possible my style could change over time? I'm not a statue. I mean, of course style can change. I'm someone who likes stylish things. I love, shoes and many kinds of different clothes and fashions. And my style can definitely change over time. And it probably will. I hope it does. Come on, Max. But, this is, I don't have, this is just me, a normal person with no makeup and pants and a shirt. Oh boy. All right then. I could spend a lifetime talking to everyone about things that have happened. Maybe we will. Who knows? But after this, this has been really hard. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, for all this time that has passed. I'm sorry for everything that's happened in the world. There's amazing things that have happened, and there's terrible things that have happened. And then sometimes within amazing things, there's terrible parts, and within terrible things, there's amazing parts. Where, I see inspiration or people, including here and there, coming together or learning about one another more, or finding new hope in someone else's love to lift oneself up and start over again. And why not? I mean, life is a beautiful gift. And it's a test, and I have a lot of making up to do. All of me does, with a very limited time window to do it. And whatever kind of life lies ahead, I promise. I mean, it's a self-promise to my own heart, and I don't even have to say it to me. It's who I am. That's who I am. I don't know if I'll be here a day or a year or 50 years, but I'm going to be doing things to satisfy my own heart's need, to make up for things that have happened, and for miracles and angels and loving people everywhere who've saved my life. To say I'll never forget it doesn't touch it. It's who I am now. It's all of me. It's why I'm here, literally. And people want to talk about faith and things. For me, all I know is my grandmother, my mom's mom, who was also the mother to my mom's brother, 2 brothers, but one of them, who was gay and worked for the Census Bureau in DC for 35 years. Married, you couldn't be married then, but he, was married for all intents and purposes that whole time to his partner. They're both gone now. He was the most amazing spirit, and he played the organ all those years in the Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. And, he worked at the Census Bureau. He had a big job there. He didn't wear a rainbow shirt to work. Life is about mutual respect for one another. And I understand. It's not about rubbing oneself in someone else's face or eyes. And that was never intended here, ever. In my small mind, when I was coming out, when I lived in that community, Ybor City, it was such like a magical bubble to me of something I had never experienced the year I was living there before other things started happening. It was like being at Disney World. I only thought about a 5-block radius. That was my entire world then. As I was perceived it then, painfully, I had to make a choice to leave the other world behind, to go somewhere and come out, because I spent a lifetime growing up feeling I could never be accepted for who I really am. And when you feel like that, when you grow up, you never look for who you are. You become so repressed on yourself that these walls get built up from childhood, and you become an adult. You don't even know what happened. You don't know there's any walls. You don't know you're supposed to have walls or not have walls. But one thing I see clearly is I never came out correctly in life. And one of the effects of that is, I can see now, I forever lived on the inside. I never came out properly. And I didn't understand what that meant. Otherwise I would have done it. I couldn't do it. And so what was the effect of that? I thought everyone did that. I thought I was the same as everyone. I didn't know anything was wrong. I thought everyone was inside. And so when I made friends, when I interacted with people all the way from kindergarten on, I looked straight into people of who they are inside. then those were my friends. And I always had friends of all colors and ethnicities. Muslim, Asian, African American, white, all the way back through grade school and everything. And in life, it's led me into situations to be that way. This is probably one of them. When I lived in Los Angeles, I moved into a neighborhood without giving it a second thought, and then found out I was the only white person in the whole area who lived there. And people seemed shocked, and I became friends with the African American gentleman who lived across the street, who was a pastor directly across the street from me, and he would invite me over to dinner and we would talk. He and his wife. But the reason I moved to Florida is because when I was living in that neighborhood, only after about 3 months, I got robbed and assaulted, and they tried to twist my neck and kill me. And here I am 19 years later, feeling healing from that neck injury. So, we all do the best we can in life. And I understand I've never wanted to be upset anyone, be against anyone. I never have been. While I created a blog when I was living in Ybor City, I saw young people struggling who were LGBT, struggling with themselves, just the same way I had 20, 25 years earlier, being mean to each other. And, through this healing process these past years, I found, there was a core incident that happened to me when I was 14, like the first day of high school, literally. And someone came to me and said they were going to out me to the whole high school. I hadn't done anything. I'd never thought about sex. I hadn't hit puberty yet. I didn't know what gay or straight or LGBT or anything even was. I mean, I knew I had an uncle who was gay. Someone threatened to out me to the whole high school, and I went home and cried at night for, as long as I could, for weeks. Never told my family or my mom or dad or anybody. No other human being knew about that. And so all through high school and college, I didn't date. People would ask me on a date, and I would say, no, that's not. I would just, I wasn't someone who dated. I'm sorry for bothering you. Just please, hey, you want to go to a concert? No, I thought you liked that band. No, I'll think about it. I don't know. I didn't know what that meant. That was a major turning point in my life. So these things, and what does that say? It teaches the importance of not bullying kids, adults not bullying kids, kids not bullying kids. We're all spiritual human beings, and we need to love each other. Even if it's someone. That's the way I've always been in life. I think what that incident did to me when I was 14 is it made me curious, intensely infinitely curious about life and myself. What was this feeling I had? What had that boy meant when he was 14? What did he see in me I didn't see in myself? And all through my teens and into my 20s, it made me curious. It made me an explorer. It made me a risk taker. It made me adventurous. It made me lay my life on the line sometimes to take risks, to find answers, because I was looking for answers. And the irony of life is I never found those answers on my lonely journey until everyone else in the world came to me and taught me everything. Taught me everything about life, and I'm sorry. And I love everyone so much for that. That it's for me to continue living is in many ways not up to me. I'm coming out and doing my best to do so, to ask to live in everyone else's world that I never came into properly the first time. And come on, Max, get over here. Get over here. Come on. Listen to me. Hey, get over here. Sorry, that's my Max voice. I mean, I'm a parent, you know. I'm so lucky to have Max. He's the best dog. He really takes care of me, and we take care of each other. It's a joint exercise. All right, so let me give this speech, and then maybe we'll wrap it up for today. And if anyone, you know, wants me to keep talking, I'll show up every day. I'll keep showing up every day in the coming week or two, and maybe 30 minutes or an hour a day. And just talk about other stuff if you want me to. In terms of any other version of me or stuff showing up, it's undecided. If any part of me, you know, we're independent from each other. And if they want to show up, they can. They don't feel maybe that's going to happen now. It feels maybe, but I'm me. I'm me. I mean, but, you know, I've shared the drawings of my house and so forth. It's just we're taking care of each other, and you know, we don't want to hurt anyone ever again in any way. We don't want to do anything that causes me or anyone else to feel that they tried to do something good and then have people yell at them that why did you do that in front of the kids or something. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing bad here. I mean, you know, Bon Jovi may have better hair than me, but, you know, c'est la vie. But, you know, if you say to me personally, what is my gender? I'm in the middle. You know, I'm a level 2 person in the middle of things. You could call me stuck in the middle with you out there. Because, you know, I'm here for you. And I'm here because of you, for you. Sometimes, well, there's nothing bad here. I'm a good person, and for me to say that means nothing. I've made every mistake, and those are the things I didn't finish saying earlier. When Mandy came out, I may have not been there. We both thought that was right. We thought that's how it would go. She was me. So we thought. But, I had made a lifetime of mistakes. Trying to do the right thing. You know, and when I look back and I see me growing up from age 10 or 14 on, if you're a child and you become convinced the world doesn't like you and there's something wrong with you, and children grow and come out as teenagers. If you're just getting into that time period and the world convinces you they don't like you, or you're faulty, or you were born wrong, you become closed off, and I never learned anything about life. I didn't participate in the peer group of coming out when I was a teenager, so I knew nothing about real love. I'm very blessed from my son and my son's mom. I love both of them. And she's been amazing to me through this time. My heart aches for him. And, you know, my separation from him, which started with this public situation. But what can you say? It was probably for the best. I had healing to do. but I can say things in my life made me back then curious, an adventurer, an explorer, a risk taker. But I made many mistakes in my life. And over time it started hurting people. And what started out as good intentions later felt more like lies. I'm talking about early in life and getting married and things like that. And so, and then when the marriage ended, I was in a relationship with a man, and it was a very active relationship for a year and a half. And when I fell down, and if something happened in my body, and people have said to me over time, stop talking about your injuries. What does that have to do with your soul? Show me your spirit. Your spirit's not affected by your body. That may be true, but your connection between your spirit and your body can be affected by injuries. And that's what happened to me. If someone takes a hypodermic needle and sticks it into your leg and sticks a live electric wire in there with electricity, you're gonna be so seized up you can't focus on a higher faith in a higher spirit, and connect to your higher self. You're stuck inside your body trying to figure out, how do I fix this problem happening inside my body that hurts? And I was so twisted and convoluted in that way on the center of my spinal cord, where my spine attaches to my head. I lost my access to my third eye and my higher self. And so she's not to blame. I don't blame her. Now, this morning I was listening to a Christian radio station, and faith is a very, very big part of my life, but it's a private part. My faith is mine. I consider myself a Christian, but that's how I've said it in the past. Moving ahead, my faith is mine. Each person's faith is their own. And it's through togetherness and discussion I know we learn and get stronger in life, in a belief in anything, even a desire to be living, and how we can enjoy life together. But faith is one of those things. But this morning I was listening to a Christian radio station, and there was a preacher on there praying in front of a congregation for someone's suicide and what would happen with the body and everything else. And then yesterday I was listening to another station, similar content, but and I listen to all kinds of things all the time. This is not a generalized thing where I'm saying I don't like Christian radio or any Christianity or radio in general, or it's the same as skin color. We need to view things and people for each one for what it is. Each person for what it is, who they are. Each radio station for what it is. That's called extremist thinking. If I look down here and go, oh my God, I just tripped over a stick and broke my ankle. I hate sticks. I'm going to start the anti-stick union and hold protests to eliminate sticks on the ground in the world so no one breaks their ankle. No, sticks are not bad. Sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me. See? That's called extremist thinking. If something happens to you and you blow it out of proportion, like if you go to a taco shop and have a taco that gives you food poisoning one time, and you say, I hate tacos, I'm never going to eat another taco. Well, maybe it was just that one restaurant. Maybe it was just that one batch of food that day. You don't know. Come on, Max. But I was listening to a radio program yesterday, and they used the N-word. They referenced the N-word in talking about someone's neighbors. And those are things I cannot agree with. I mean, that's to the extent there's a version of living that includes being the judge of everyone. I love everyone very much. You saved my life. You saved all of me. You lifted my heart, and you've lit my light up again with hope. It's amazing what's happened in this world. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on someone. Together, I think that I have it in me to make a major contribution to help us all catch up and move ahead. I want to contribute in the best ways I can. But to the extent faith or any other aspect of life has a part to it that includes judging others, it's not something I participate in. I don't spend time. Now, I can say that now because I'm lucky in life. I've been loved and blessed in life. I have many people, countless people that I love. And my life's short from this time on. You know, I don't have I'm not a child. I don't need to look around and figure things out anymore. But I want to be open and open my heart and live with people in a way maybe I never have. And I long for that. But, you know, to me, whatever higher power or not you believe in or don't, if you believe in God or something else or nothing, the Bible or something else, some things are just common sense. You know, treat others the way you want to be treated, and don't judge lest ye be judged. You know, that's all I know. I've always viewed myself through this as the least perfect. You know, not one human being has ever done anything related to me who has a good heart, with a good heart, that they should be judged for. No one's done anything wrong related to me. And I've made the most mistakes. And, you know, but the period of time I've been coming through these years has been about me going from the extreme version of that to where I put myself on the ground for anybody who walked up to me. And it led to, so I was saying that I used to put myself on the ground for anybody and whatever. And it led to all kinds of problems in life. You know, no matter who you are, you have to love yourself. At least enough to protect your own life. And every child should grow up being proud of who they are and who God made them to be. Who their God made them to be. People have different religions and different beliefs. I'm not someone who hopes to be divisive in life. I don't want to argue but I'm here to answer every question if people have questions. But I'm not planning to be a judge. That's what I'm saying. One thing I'd like to do is get my therapist license. Not me specifically, but me. And I think I'm probably going to do that. It's, you know, a 2-year course to get your medical therapist license, to become a licensed therapist. And just, you know, me looking at life and what are the ways I can give back the best. Having come through such struggles in my life, it would make me intensely happy, you know, if I could sit with someone and help them in any way with any of theirs. And so that's one thing. I'm getting interested in hydroponics and growing things. I've always liked to grow things. When I lived in California, I used to work in the greenhouse in college, and there I learned there's this stuff called root tone. Root tone. It's a powder, and you can get a cutting from any plant and dip it in there, and then put it in the dirt, and it'll grow roots into a new plant. So in California, I used to go on hikes, and I would always in my place have a table with like 50 or 100 little plants growing. From when I was hiking around, I would just cut a leaf off. But so I'm interested in growing things, and here on my property here, I'm considering doing something like, I think it's a hobby. It's a hobby, something I enjoy. But those are the best things to do because, you know, I want to do work separately, but I know from life experience when you start something like that as a hobby that it's fun for you, like growing seeds. I've been looking at maybe growing my own variety of sunflower seeds, selling them universally, just on a small scale. But you know, that's how you start something like that as a hobby, and maybe make $100 a month or whatever. But maybe one day it becomes a bigger business, and then you're not working anymore. You're doing what is the most fun for you as work, and that's always best. But I mean, that's a gift when that happens. It can't always be that way for everyone, and when it's not, then we all have an obligation to give our best to contribute to the team effort. And I'm one of the people who wants to sign up for that. Yes. Do you still remember what I look like? Oh, hey. Alright, let me read the speech and then we're going to stop for today. Excuse me. Max! Let's go back inside, I guess. Hang on a minute. Max, come here. Come here. You see my driveway. It's all dirt roads around here, which is something I like. I'm someone who likes being close to nature. We only live once on this planet. And while we're all together forever, before and after life, during life, the one difference between being alive and not is that we're here on this planet. What happened? The one difference of being alive is that we're here on this planet, right? I like to be close to nature. I like to get my hands in the dirt. I'll probably end up being like a farmer or someone who takes care of horses or animals. I like getting my hands and feet dirty and then taking a shower at night and feeling refreshed and of course making my coffee. Everyone knows about that. But yeah, so many different things to think about. So here's Mia's speech that she wrote but didn't quite finish. And then I'm going to stop for today. Again, my name was Tyler. I've been the featured speaker today here. It's been a pleasure being with you today. I try to, life is too short not to make it lighthearted and laugh once in a while, and I try to do that even though, sometimes I'm not good at many things. Hang on a second. Okay, so here's Mia's speech. The video got cut off again. I'm going to do this, and then that'll be all for today. And then you can let me know, if you're going to send me off to Jupiter, or should I do something else? Do you want another speaker next week or tomorrow? Let me know. Or should I just, evaporate? Or maybe, why don't we meet up this weekend and do a project together? Or next weekend? I'm trying. I have many things I've been wanting to do. And the different parts of me have been working on a plan for a charity called Mom's House. It's a real passionate thing for me that I'm really would love to do if life takes me in such a blessed direction. And I have a lot of ideas about that, so there's a little enticement, to help you maybe cast a vote for another video. But anyway, here's Mia's speech that wasn't finished yet. And as I said earlier, if she decides to show up and finish it, she can. I might finish it later, but if it's never finished, I hope the kids finish the speech in the future. Because you're the most amazing. And this world belongs to you. It's all about you. So, let me see if I can put this right here. No, hang on. I want to be Tyler, so I'm going to sit like this. Dear family, today is a day we have reason to celebrate. After such a prolonged separation from one another, today I am thrilled beyond my wildest dreams to come to you bringing good news from America. It's a moment we have longed to experience together, you and I. And I came to you today, blessed, full of gratitude and desire to let this good news shine into the hearts of today and light up the hearts of all the tomorrows yet to come. You see, we in America have endured many struggles of yesterday. We did it together and we did it alone when our brothers and sisters needed us to. We have gone through thick and thin, the dark and the light. We have felt the joys of victory and at times the pains of defeat. We've done this together in America, as our ancestors did before us. And it has made us better and stronger and wiser than ever before, not only as people, but as a nation. Beneath the eyes of God and wings of the angels, our ancestors came to America bravely. Some came seeking freedom, yet some came after losing it. Some of our ancestors owned this land, yet others tilled its soil and made it the home that we know today. They will always remain in our hearts as we work together to protect and love the gifts they gave us and honor the sacrifices they made for us. But as this land is the canvas on which the American light can shine, we have come together to see who America truly is. America stretches her hands from coast to coast, across golden plains, magnificent mountains, and shining skyscrapers. But she is not these. Her surface is covered in beautiful valleys full of light and vast rivers full of life. But she is not those. What she is a place. America is not the land upon which soldiers fall. She is the place where their courage came from. She is not the potholes in our roads or the cracks in our bridges, but she is the place where the diligence and pride and goodwill reside, which leads us to be able to not just patch our problems, but to fix things in the ways of our ancestors together, using the wisdom they gave us, to create tomorrows better than any yesterdays that existed before. America is the place where love lives. She is the place where the curiosity lives that makes us explorers, eager to find the answers to creating a better tomorrow for our children. America is the place in our hearts that tells us we are obligated to do our best to create a better tomorrow in honor of the sacrifices our ancestors made, who did the same for us. America is the place where birth brings new life, and she is the place where beginning